So I'm going to whisk you back to 6 years ago. I was a lawyer in London. Everything was perfect. I had a great job. My mom was super happy. She was Indian. She's like, really, yeah, great, good, Haneen. And then I went on a bit of a personal growth journey where I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And I was like, I've got to be better. I've got to do better. I've got to be enough. And so I quit and I started curating immersive theatre. Come sort of sex parties at a millionaire's mansion. I was addicted to self-growth. I was going into ayahuasca retreats, Burning Man. I would tell myself I love myself all the time. It was just total obsession with like external validation constantly. I'm sure all of you can relate to some degree. And yet there's this constant void inside me, like this emptiness that I felt. And still sometimes do, actually. And I thought the answer was like the self-love narrative, right? We've got to love ourselves. We're going to like treat ourselves to the spa. It's all about affirmations. It's all about the good vibes and being happy. And I think that just perpetuated more happiness because I never felt good about being anxious or tired or like stressed, you know, and there was a constant managing of that emotion. It was like, okay, I'm pissed off right now. How can I fix that? How can I manage that emotion? Like it was, you can tell from my body language, it's like this rigidity. Or I'd be in like, okay, I've got to like have my shit together and be like super on it and performative. And so I realized that the self-love narrative was totally reductive and toxic for me. Like, I just wanted to be totally done with that. And so my answer to that, the tool that's helped me the most out of anything, and I feel so fucking passionate about, is just connecting to my body, starting to live in my body, and actually feeling my sensations again. And that sounds so deceptive. It sounds so simple. I think the hardest challenge is actually taking it seriously enough. And I think the hardest challenge is overcoming the conditioning that we've had to override a lot of the sensations that we have in our bodies. I think when we're really, really young, certainly for me, I'll speak for me because I had a mother that was incredibly overbearing and aggressive. And I think my response to that was to shut down, to like retract, to I just like feeling my heart in my like beat in my chest right now, and I'm really grateful I can feel it. And before that, I would numb. And so, firstly, it's the key thing to being connected to our bodies is just to notice. It's to have that attention inwards. I don't know how many of you right now in the audience are aware of how you're feeling in this moment, how you're breathing, if there's any tension in the body. Yeah, where is your attention at this moment? And so I've taught myself to slow down, to take breaks, to not be so performative, and to even slip in like noticing statements in conversations. I notice right now that I feel like I'm loosening up. I feel less tension in my belly, that type of thing. So that was an amazing skill, but that wasn't everything. So we might be able to notice all the things in the world, but the next step and the challenge for me in this path was to value what I had to say in my body, to feel like it was like I was worthy enough to share that with my partners, with my friends, and not to shut it down. And I'm going to give us an example related to sex because I'm a sex and intimacy coach, and I'll wrap it there. So I want us to imagine that we're in the throes of like wild, passionate sex, like clothes are coming off, you're kissing this person, and you're like really obsessed with the formula, the script, right? It's like kissing, foreplay, penis and vagina, like that's technically how it goes. And you notice at various points that you have like some resistance. Maybe you want to stop or pause at some points, but you override that like we always do. Or maybe you want to go to the toilet and you override that. Or you notice that you shouldn't be moaning in a certain way or going really hard and fast. And I feel rigid just thinking about that because that feels like really stuck. And contrasting that with like, maybe it's silly. Maybe I have a period during sex and the blood's getting everywhere and I'm queefing or I fart and I laugh and it's silly and I just embrace that and it's like it's named and it's part of my experience. And I think that's what I want to do is to normalize like the complexity of our emotions, our feelings, of what it is to be human. And I feel really, really passionately about this. Like, I feel as though we don't even need to teach our bodies how to do that. It already knows. Our body wants to get to homeostasis so badly. It wants to feel the feelings. It just wants to be heard. It just wants to be seen. So I think my biggest takeaway for everyone here sitting down is super simple. It's to slow down. It's to notice the body. It's to stay connected to self, because we'll only ever be in one relationship for the rest of our life. And that's the relationship that we have with ourselves. Thank you.